What kind of internet did you grow up with? Maybe this internet? Before this though, I actually vividly remember my first experience with social media. It was with a Nintendo DSi. This thing blew my mind. All the DS could do was just play games, but oh boy, the DSi did a lot more, let me tell you. This thing had Flipnote Studio, aka the greatest social media to ever exist. Don't even try to fight me on that. And when I say social media here, I don't mean like social media that we have at all, like right now, no. This was an application on the DSi that allowed people to draw and animate little videos and share them for others to see. You could even add your own voice to the videos if you really wanted to. One of my favorite artists right now, Ado, actually started doing covers on Flipnote Studio, and she just did a collab with Imagine Dragons, so I think it's safe to say this thing definitely had a pretty big impact on its user base. I actually still remember the day that the servers went down, and I'm not gonna lie, I was devastated. I was so confused on how so much could just be gone forever. I thought there could be like some secret way to get back into the system that I just didn't know about, but no, it was gone forever. But what does all this have to do with the video's title? Well, this past year I've really started to understand the importance of things having an ending, and how important this can be. I honestly think having the power to end something when it's still successful actually gives that thing more value in the long run. It gives you the ability to look back on the memories without them being overwritten by anything else that could have clashed with the good times. It allows you to close a chapter and move on to greater things. Not because you necessarily have to, but because you know it's the best for you. Recently here on YouTube, a couple of creators named Schlatt, Ted Nivison, and Tucker ended a project they had called Chuckle Sandwich. From an outsider's view, it was by all means very successful. They averaged a very high number of views and had a very dedicated fan base, but all of a sudden they all agreed to end it.
I think it feels weird, even to me, because a lot of the time things don't get to end on your own terms, especially when it comes to online, right? And so being able to see a big project like Chuckle Sandwich through, to be proud of the entire body of work, is honestly a huge privilege. I felt satisfied closing the book on it, and that's really the whole of it, which is fine, by the way, right? Like, you can just end things, and there doesn't have to be some crazy reason why either. Things end.
Schlatt is exactly right here. When you find something that you enjoy, you might find yourself wanting it to last. If you find yourself something that you love, you may find yourself never wanting it to end. This is only human. We want things that are doing good by us to last, but it's just life that all things eventually do end. In the back of my mind, I know that my editing skills are not nearly to the level I wish they could be, and my writing skills could seriously improve, but the thing is, we only have so much time, and the last thing I want to do is to have lived a life where I put off something for so long that I forget why I wanted to go after it in the first place. Knowing that things will all inevitably end is not a reason to avoid starting. If you spend too much time wondering if you are good enough to start, then you may never start at all. It's a very interesting dynamic that I find that we have right now, because as we seem to stray further away from the never-ending cycle of a 9 to 5, we also see many people crave that security that comes with it, security that is often lost when pursuing that career of becoming a content creator. It can be scary to realize that you might not have a consistent flow of income, but for many people, this is worth the risk. It's worth the risk to escape the other option. The fact here is, the ability to close a chapter of your life is a privilege that the large majority of the world does not have access to. Most people wake up each day with the promise of failure, the possibility of security, and the faith that maybe one day we will be able to support the ones that we love most. Willingly preventing yourself from basically guaranteed income is not something that most people would ever think of doing. But I think that this speaks to a much larger cultural shift that we are all going through right now. Our grandparents and parents earned respect for their work through the time that they spent working. Spending 30 years at one job position was seen as a highly respected achievement. Many still see this as an incredible achievement today, but with this new availability given to us through social media projects and businesses such as YouTube channels or podcasts, this ability to grow something and watch it become successful, but then also have the same ability to end it after a short period, is something that we're starting to see much more of. And honestly, I don't know if I'm using the word short correct here. I think a lot of how we all view time has been skewed in strange ways. Our relatives who have spent the majority of their lives in one space, working the same jobs day in and day out. I mean, I wouldn't blame them for seeing actions being taken now, like ending a very successful and sustainable project, as dumb or too risky. Here's what I believe. If you decide not to stay in the same position and to take risks in a field that requires this of you to maintain progress, this shouldn't degrade your image. Either way, I think it's amazing that there are so many people creating social media content now. The fact that pretty much anyone with a device can make YouTube videos is pretty wild. Though I also believe that there are many aspects to this that suck. One of those being how many people are using AI. The AI that we know today, and the ones that you see people use to create things with, can't create their own work. When I see people punching some words into an algorithm and raking in cash from material made completely by others, in my opinion, I feel like it shouldn't be allowed. It all just feels bad.
毎朝この頃会わないけど身体障害の友人がいるんですよ。そのハイタッチするんだけども大変なんです。犬がこわばってる手と僕の手でこうハイタッチする。でその彼のことを思い出してね、僕はこれ面白いと思って見ることできないですよ。そういう人たちは痛みとかそういうものについてね、何も考えないでやってるでしょ。極めて不愉快ですよね。極めて何か生命に対する侮辱を感じます。
I think we've come to a critical time where we have to ask ourselves, why are we using machines to create art and forcing humans to do labor? If you ask me, it sounds like a bad joke, but it's happening right in front of our eyes. Either way, I think above all, it's great that so many people have the option to create things online. If you don't want to be trapped in a 9-to-5, if the 9-to-5 isn't even an option for you, or if you just want to create art, social media gives so many that chance. So, if you're someone that has worked 15, 20, 30, or even 50 plus years in a single profession, you should be proud of what you've done. But for those who are putting something off just because you think there's a better time for it, just know that there really is only so much time. I mean, that's why this channel exists. I tried so many other things before this that I really did not enjoy doing, but now that I'm 4 videos in, I can already say that it has all been worth it. So, thank you for being here with me for it. Thanks so much for watching another one of these. I honestly still can't believe the support on these videos. I only started a month ago, so thanks for your patience while I still figure everything out on here. And let me know your thoughts on everything that I talked about, and also just generally what you thought of the video. If you enjoyed it, you should subscribe. But as always, thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.